2, 1. All right. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Run the Base podcast. I'm Luis. This is Carlos.
I'm Carlos.
Yeah, no further introductions, right? If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and on the off chance you didn't find us on TikTok, go ahead and follow us on TikTok. It's Run the Base. It's the Run the Base podcast. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
We also have an Instagram. I believe it's under the link tree, also on our YouTube and our TikTok. So if you want to go follow us on Instagram, we post a lot more on TikTok, but we're trying to start posting on Instagram more. But yeah, go follow us on Instagram too.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, we appreciate all the growth and support that we've been getting. We've been growing pretty steadily. So we're just gonna try to keep up the momentum and keep it going into this week. So how you feeling? Going into week 3.
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, our growth has been we saw a lot more views in week 1, but week 2 it had like random, like at midnight or like at 2 a.m. all of a sudden people started watching our videos.
Yeah, so the Milwaukee Bucks video, like it was like, TikTok is so weird. So it was like 2 a.m. It was 2 a.m. and that video was like at 200 views, and then all of a sudden, like, we got like a surge of likes and our views are like, that video went from like 200 views to like 1,200 like in like an hour.
All of a sudden,
and that was after like 24 hours of posting it. It had been like 2 days since we posted it.
Yeah, all of a sudden it just grew, and I mean,
shout out
whatever
to y'all.
Works, whatever works.
Yeah, shout out to y'all. Shout out to our day ones. Shout out. Who else do we shout out? Homer. Shout out Homer. Shout out Hector. Shout out Brandon. Shout out all the homies that have been supporting us.
Yeah, a lot of people decided to support us. Our followers have been growing. Our views have been growing. So hopefully we keep on growing the page. Hopefully we get to get more followers in the future, and hopefully this episode brings some more success.
Yes, sir.
But getting into it, we want to start off with music. So, you want to start off with music?
Yeah, we'll start off with the music. I guess you said you wanted to talk about the Harry Styles album,
yeah,
right?
I wanted to talk about the newly released Harry Styles album really quick. I listen to Harry Styles, not like all the time, but I wanted to see what his album brought. I am a fan of Harry Styles. I like his music, so I decided to give it a listen. It released on May 20th, right? Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No, it's because I was talking about like this month. I was like, oh yeah, this month was May, right? Like
yeah.
May 20th, it released. It's called Harry's Home, and I think it was pretty good. I was talking to other Harry Styles fans to see if they also got the same concept that I was getting. So basically what I felt that Harry Styles did in this new album was he started off by talking in the first few tracks and kind of talking about someone that he was fond of, like he was kind of feeling it for. He kind of had like a little crush on somebody, and after I believe like 3-4 tracks, he started talking about, like, it's great together, it was amazing. And then in the middle tracks, I felt like that's when the album took a turn, and you have a bunch of tracks that it was kind of the downfall of the relationship, that he kind of started struggling, and I felt like it was a lot of talking about how he mentally went through it, and how he kind of felt alone. I mean, if you heard As It Was kind of like reminiscent of what it was, what the relationship was, and how good he had it. And I felt like during the last couple tracks in like a song called Boyfriend, I felt like he finally saw the person that he was with find somebody else, and he was kind of reminiscent about like, it kind of sucks seeing you with someone else. And I don't know if y'all heard like the actual description of Boyfriend, but it was about her getting abused by her current boyfriend and the way that he was like seeing that, and it sucked that he saw that. And the final track of the album, I believe, is called Love of My Life. He was talking about basically how she was the one and he messed it up, and he wished he could go back, but he can't, and he kind of has to live with that. And he's talking just about how he sees her as the love of his life. So I thought the album was a good one. I have my tracks that I thought were the top ones. Let me just get the album out. So in the first half of I felt like the first half of the album was my favorite. I liked the first 6-7 tracks a lot more than the last couple of tracks, but my top 5 would probably be, this isn't counting out the single that he released, so as it would have been in the top 5, but I'm counting it out because I mean it was a single everybody knows, and it was,
hey, that track was pretty great.
It was probably the best track that I thought. I don't even listen to Harry Styles,
but hey, that track was pretty good.
That track was good, catchy. It had like a great style, and I thought it was really good, and it was also really sad. Like it told a great story within it. But I'm not gonna count that one. It would have been my top 5, but it was a single, so I'm not gonna count it. I would probably have Late Night Talking, Grape Juice, Little Freak, Matilda, and Love of My Life. I wanted to put Satellite and Daylight in there, but I felt like those would be my top 5. I thought it was a good album. My rating personally, I think it would be a 7.6, 7.7. I would put it there simply due to the fact that there was some tracks that I felt like I was missing some tracks that I felt like more of a story could be told. The album was really short. I wish it was longer, because it was, I believe, 41 minutes, 48 minutes. It was in the 40s. I know that. But I wish it would have been longer, because it was a great album. It had a good upbeat vibe. It told a great story, especially like Matilda with the whole family situation. But I just felt like my personal rating would be around those 7, like late 7s. But I thought it was a good album. I thought Harry did what he did, and I'm gonna keep listening to Harry's music. It's growing on me.
That was beautiful, man. And you can always count on Harry to deliver some good music. You know?
Harry, yeah, man. Harry
seems like every summer he's always dropping some summer bangers. You know.
Harry's been doing his thing. I honestly, I don't know if you heard of his last album.
Was it
the one with
Summer Watermelon Sugar?
Yeah, the one with Watermelon Sugar. The one with Drown. No, not Drowning.
I don't know.
I forgot what it was called. Let me get the name out.
But yeah, I mean,
Fine Line. Fine Line was a great album. One of my top albums.
What's your favorite Harry song?
Favorite Harry song?
I have my favorite Harry song. What's your favorite Harry song? Hold on.
My favorite Harry song. It has to be between Fine Line. Falling, okay. And Sign of the Times. I thought Sign of the Times was amazing. One of the first Harry tracks that like were solo Harry, not the One Direction.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing track. I know it's a loved track song by everybody. I know a lot of people have listened to it already, but I feel like that's one of my favorite Harry songs.
Sign of the Times is an amazing song, bro, and it's one of those you know how some artists have like those career defining songs. That was Harry Styles' career defining song. Sign of the Times really at that time. Like he really separated himself from that One Direction stigma, Like Sign of the Times was just an amazing song, bro.
Yeah, because a lot of the One Direction, when they went solo, I felt like they haven't had as much success as Harry, but I felt like that song kind of skyrocketed his success. Yeah, exactly. It was a great defining moment for Harry Styles, and I felt like the song itself, the meaning behind it, just a great song in general. I thought it was a really good track.
Yeah, exactly. And well, speaking of career defining songs, now that we're mentioning it, well, another song that's been blowing up on TikTok recently that I think is a career-defining song by Childish Gambino. It's Me and Your Mama. Dude, that song gives me chills every single time I hear it. Every single time I hear it.
You know that Childish Gambino dropped Redbone and Me and Your Mama because someone told him that he can't drop hits.
Dude.
And he wrote those songs to kind of like take away from that stigma that he is not a good artist. I mean, Childish Gambino is one of my favorite artists. With his show Atlanta, with his music, I thought he's been doing his thing. Childish Gambino is one of my favorite artists. I want to see him live, actually.
Dude, yeah.
But,
Childish Gambino, bro, he's one of those do-it-all people. You know, he's a comedian, he's a director, he's an actor, he's a songwriter, he's a producer. He literally does it all. You know how we talked about Bad Bunny checking off all the checklists? Well, that's literally Childish Gambino. He could do everything he wants at such a high level, and like it's amazing. And every time I hear Me and Your Mama, bro, like, it like literally chills down my spine.
That entire album was just a great album.
Exactly.
And obviously Redbone and Me and Your Mama headlined them, but I thought it was just a great album.
Yeah, that whole album is just not talked about enough, which is a great segue to our next segment. I guess this
is a new segment that we want to do. I don't know what we're gonna call it,
but we're basically gonna be trying to shine some light onto some underrated, some underrated things, projects or songs that we think are not getting enough love.
Yeah, so basically we're gonna do it by artist. So like we're gonna categorize some artists' songs that aren't getting enough love, and we feel like they deserve it. Obviously, some artists are going to be smaller and some artists are going to be bigger. In today's case, we have that situation. But so we're going to start off by...
exactly. First, so, one of my favorite albums of the year, and I do not think it's getting talked about enough, and that is Melt My Eyes, See Your Future by Denzel Curry. That project is amazing from top to bottom, and I think it's one of Denzel Curry's best work. And Denzel Curry has been underrated his whole career. I think the most success he's ever seen was from either Taboo or Ultimate. Ultimate was obviously the song that blew him up to that mainstream level, but ever since then, it seems like people don't really talk about him other than like his core fans, and I mean, you see on Twitter, he feels like he's not getting that respect that he deserves, and I completely agree with him. Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, from top to bottom, is an amazing listen. I highly recommend that you guys go listen to it, because it has everything you want, from those chill simple type of beats. He has lyricism, he has deeper messages, he has everything that you want. Trap beats, chill beats. It's a great listen. I'll give you I'll let you guys go listen to it by yourself, but yeah, that's my segment, or that's my recommendation for this week.
Do you want to list some songs? Like the top 3 underrated songs from his... Some
underrated songs from the project?
Or from Denzel Curry.
Okay, so I mean, I guess we'll talk about from the project. So some of the songs that pop up right now that are one of my favorites is Walking. Walking was a single that he dropped before he dropped the album. That song is amazing. Like, that song is really good. X-Wing comes to mind as well. The Ills, which is the conclusion to the album, is really touching. It's really powerful. The whole album honestly kind of reminds me of Kendrick's album. It's pretty much structured the same. It's like a therapy session for Denzel, but yeah, it's a great listen. I highly recommend you guys go listen to it.
Real quick, mentioning Kendrick, I don't know if any of y'all pulling up to the Austin tour. He's the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers tour in Austin. I believe it's July 21st, but we're gonna be attending. So hit us up. Just
if you're gonna
comment.
if you're gonna be in that area, if you're gonna go to that concert, we'd love to meet up with y'all.
Yeah, we'd love to meet up with y'all. We want to celebrate the whole Kendrick album, Kendrick
Exactly.
tour together. So yeah, if you go in, just comment, and we'll hit
see
you
what
up.
we could do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but getting into my artist, obviously his was Denzel Curry, so he would be the bigger artist, and mine would be I believe it's pronounced Redveil. He has like maybe 1.5 million on Spotify right now. I feel like he's an up and coming artist, but he's very underrated. I believe he's 17 years old. He produces all his music, he writes it all, and he's just a great artist in general. From his last 2 albums, I would just amazing sounds. I feel like his sound is so just it was a different sound. The way he raps on his production is just a great change from what we see today in the genre. And some of the songs that I think that are very underrated, he recently dropped an album, and I'm gonna take out some of the songs that I think that you should listen to off of that album. Let me just pull it up really quick. So he dropped an album called Learn to Swim, and I thought the intro track, I mean, if you haven't listened to him, obviously you could listen to his album Up and Down. He just released this one this year, so you'd obviously start with the intro, and I felt like the intro was a great introduction to his type of music. Just the way that the instrumental starts, you already hear the difference and the growth that he has in a 17-year-old. Like he's a young artist, and he's only gonna grow more, and I feel like you could really tell his greatness in his first song. It's called Together. I thought it was just an amazing song. You guys should check it out. Later in the album, he has a song called Better, and it's a collaboration with Sam Truth. Another great song. I thought it was just the way that the chorus on it was just catchy. The beat was just an amazing beat. It was transcending. It was just an amazing song in general. One of my favorite off the album, probably my favorite. And then you have Working on It. Working on It is the outro to the album, and it kind of just puts together the whole album. Every track and instrumental kind of go hand in hand to each other. So you have like a little what's it called, like a switch from beat to beat,
a segue, transition.
A transition from every beat. You could tell that there's a connection, and every song kind of shows the connection, and I feel like the outro just perfectly puts together the entire album. It perfectly tells the concept of the album, and I think you guys should really give it a listen from start to finish. You could really see how this dude is underrated, and if you have time, you could also check out his other album, which he released a couple years ago, called Niagara. He released it in 2020 during COVID, and I mean, he was 15 at that time, 16. So I really think you guys should give him a listen. He's an underrated artist. He's only 17 years old. He does all the production. He does everything by himself. You should really check him out. I hope y'all like what he's doing right now.
It's crazy how young, and like it seems like every year a younger and younger rapper just keeps coming. It's like, you know, back in 2016, Kodak, Lil Uzi, all those rappers were coming out. They were really young. They were like in their teenagers.
Yeah,
like
man.
Teenage years. Ugly God. Like it's crazy how, you know, the resources that we have now is displaying so much talent. You know, and Redveil is one of those dudes who, you know, who's so young but with so much talent, and you know, the sky's the limit for this guy.
Yeah, man. I mean, throwing it back to Denzel Curry, you have the 2016 XXL. I felt like just all of those rappers and the entire XXL people, I feel like that was just a transition into a new phase. Like they changed the game. Those are some of the biggest artists right now.
All those guys started really young, including Denzel. Denzel's been rapping since he was like 14, 15, and throw it back to, You know, another dude that I find really underrated, which his album's actually coming out next month, Joey Badass.
Yeah.
Joey Badass, at the age of 17, dropped 1999. 1999 is one of the greatest mixtapes ever. You know, ever. Like, and you know, actually the next month's album is a sequel to 1999 called 2000, and I'm very excited for that album. And it's crazy how young these dudes are and how talented they really are. Cause okay, we're 19 and 20. You know, these guys were younger than us.
These guys started when they were younger. They got everything down. I mean, they truly have talent, which is exactly why we want to put you on. We want to, if you're not already on, we want to put you on. And if you are already on, congratulations, man. You seeing people come up, and you seeing them rise to stardom, like in Redveil, man. If you're already a fan of him, you truly see how he's growing, and how the game is slowly transitioning into a new, younger generation, and how the younger rappers are coming up. And I just think it's just a good thing to see.
The rap game is in good hands, basically.
For sure.
I mean, we still got, you know, 20 years. I mean, what am I even saying? All right, I don't know. All right, we're gonna cut that shit out. Right? The rap game is in good hands. You know, we still got, you know, the legends like Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake. But when those dudes fade away, it's not going
still
away.
In good hands.
We're still in good hands. You know,
you truly see the influence that they had on the younger generation. I mean, just the way that instrumentals. I mean, from Kanye West to Frank Ocean. I mean, just the songwriting, the lyricism, just the beat making, the production. It's just Tyler, amazing. Bro,
yeah, Tyler wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
I feel like
for
Tyler.
For Kanye.
Tyler the Creator right now is in his prime, and I feel like he's only gonna get better. You've seen it all his career from when he started out with OF. He's just gotten better and better.
Exactly. The way that dude evolves, Tyler the Creator, he gets better and better every album, like you said. I mean, I don't think I'd put his past album over Igor. But
Igor was amazing, man.
I Igor was probably his best album to me, but his sound continuously evolves and adapts.
He keeps getting better, man.
He makes timeless music, you know.
And he's a true artist, man. The way that he knows how to put the live instruments in the song.
He might act batshit crazy. But that dude is a fucking. I mean, all geniuses really act insane, you know, man, because
it's just something in them, man. They're like
that whole
greatness.
Odd Future cast group. They're crazy. Earl Sweatshirt is also amazing. Earl Sweatshirt is pretty good.
Earl
too.
Sweatshirt's underrated, but I mean, his music's not for everybody, but I think he's an underrated artist too. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, those are two underrated artists for this week. Denzel, you should go check out his album, and you should also check out Redveil's album, man. We're trying to just shed light on stuff that we think deserves more love, and artists that deserve more love. But real quick, to end off the music segment, I don't know if y'all heard Post Malone and Roddy Ricch's collab. Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
Alright, so Post Malone is releasing an album on June 3rd, and I am a huge Posty fan. I love Post Malone.
He actually got me into Post Malone.
I introduced him to Post Malone because back when he dropped Allen Iverson, I was just playing it everywhere, man. Like, I'd be in class my freshman year, and I would just grab the speakers and I just bump it,
bro.
I would just bump
with
it.
No regards to human life, bro.
Yeah, man. I didn't even care what people would say. I was just like, Posty. Like, I want to make sure y'all hear Allen Iverson. But he's releasing an album on June 3rd. He just dropped a single with Roddy Ricch. You should go check it out. It's a really good. It's a really good single.
Yeah.
Roddy did his thing. He has a great voice, a great talent, and obviously Post Malone gonna do his thing. But yeah, you should go check it out. Check out that album also on June 3rd. It should come out in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's how we're gonna end it off.
You know what's insane about Post Malone? Now that we're talking about him, you know how he started
with Minecraft.
He was living with Sky Does Minecraft.
I used to love Sky Does Minecraft. I don't know if y'all watched him, but I'd watch him when I was little, and he had Bashverse and Sky Does Minecraft. Rest in peace to Bashverse.
Bashverse, bro.
But yeah, he had a bunch of Minecraft friends. I
Yeah.
forgot some of the other names. But
Yeah,
I
he was
remember-
he was living with Sky does Minecraft, and you know it just goes to show, you know, your path is not set, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, your connections, just word of mouth, it's anything, man. And obviously, you just have to start doing what you're doing, like doing what you love.
Another dude that started on YouTube was Joji. You know the
Joji
pink guy
with the Harlem
Yeah.
Shake. He got big
No,
on the Harlem
what was
Shake.
his name on Filthy Frank?
50 Frank, man.
Bro, that's if you watch Filthy Frank back in the day on YouTube, you never think that that dude would one day turn into Joji.
It's crazy the growth that these artists go through, man.
Cause dude,
He's best known for
Filthy Frank was an insane YouTuber who would just make batshit crazy videos. Like he would just
Yeah.
act insane, and from him to go to that to the Joji we see today, that's literally character development that you'd see on Breaking Bad, bro. You know, like that's A+ character development.
No Breaking Bad advertisement there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
The greatest shows ever made.
Exactly.
But yeah, man. I mean, Joji's best known for his Harlem Shake. Basically took the internet by storm. Like it was crazy the way people was just doing that little challenge. But yeah, Joji's music is great. And honestly, I didn't even know about 50 Frank until
didn't?
I believe Nectar dropped his second album.
Oh, really?
Or like his, I think that's like maybe his third, fourth. But
Nah, bro,
I didn't know about him until
I remember like
Nectar.
I think but someone showed me one of his songs, Give Me Reason. That song, like that
Slow
song,
Dancing in the Dark.
Slow Dancing in the Dark. That song that really like projected him into
Like
like.
sang it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good with song titles. But they showed me his video and I was like, what is that? Is that Filthy Frank? And I went and I searched up Filthy Frank on YouTube and I was like, yo, like this is the same dude. And then I googled it and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
Filthy Frank dropped Slow Dancing in the Dark. Like,
I remember I was bumping Slow Dancing in the I feel like there's a lot of music that you could kind of throw it back to the time that you first heard it and just like a key memory in your life. And I feel like there's a lot of songs and albums that I could personally do that. And Joji being one of them, Slow Dancing in the Dark, it was around wintertime and me and some friends put up to like a cool spot and we were just chilling, like a whole like gang of like 8-9 people. We were just chilling, listening to it, and it was just a great time. But yeah, I feel like Joji, another great artist.
Joji, yeah.
But yeah, for the getting into the next segment, we wanted to talk about NBA playoffs.
Oh yeah. So,
Both game twos just finished up. So right now, you have a 1-1 series, which we're filming this right before Game 3 of the Boston Celtics versus the Miami Heat, and yesterday. We'll talk about yesterday's game first because it's the most recent.
Yeah.
Mavericks against Golden State.
Oh my God. So, you know, for first half it was looking really good for Luka and the Mavs, bro. It was looking really good. They had a 20-point cushion at halftime.
20 points.
Luka dropped 18 in the first quarter. He was doing his thing. I mean, Luka was always gonna do his thing. It looked like they were gonna run away with this game. But with the Warriors, you can never count them out. You can never let your gas off the pedal because
especially when you have Steph Curry,
Klay Thompson. Oh my God! So did you watch the game?
I watched the first 2 quarters. I watched the first half. I watched a little bit of the third, and I watched the final minutes of the fourth.
Yeah. So I really so I was at the gym and I got to see like a glimpse of like the first half. I was just watching, like peeking at it, and it was like the Mavs were really dominating. I mean, I saw the take like that they're really going at it, you know.
Yeah,
they're really going
in
at it.
The first half, I felt like the Dallas Mavericks, the threes were the difference. They were just shooting lights out. Reggie Bullock, Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson were just killing the Warriors.
Yeah,
but
so I
Steph
turned
Curry
away.
exists.
Yeah, so I was it was halftime and I was leaving the gym and I kind of just like forgot about the game, right? And then I got home and I started wondering like, okay, so how did the game end? When I checked, it was in the fourth quarter with like 8 minutes left, and that 20-point lead dwindled all the way down to a 2-point deficit. I was like, how did that even happen?
Yeah.
So I had to turn on the game. I was like, what is going on? First thing I see, Klay Thompson catch and shoot with like a dude right in his face. Splash. I was like, no wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder they turned it on. You know.
The officials yesterday were just atrocious. I mean, I watched the first half, and some of the calls that they were making were just god awful. Like it was just bad. Like I don't know if y'all saw the Davis Bertans and Damian Lee, the double tech. That was crazy. How you gonna give Davis Bertans a tech for just standing up? Like
yeah,
I thought that was crazy. And Damian Lee was kind of just running.
No,
but
Damian Lee
he
oversold it. He oversold it, bro.
But yeah, Damian Lee kind of like, you see some dude on the floor, you're not gonna disrespect him by stepping over him. So I'm plus obviously Davis Bertans is gonna get up.
Exactly.
So the whole tangle, like I don't get why they both got technicals, especially because Davis Bertans, not a word was said. Like I don't think he said any words. He was just staring. Yeah. He looked shocked. So I thought that was like so bad. The officiating was just horrible yesterday, and
I'm sorry, Mavs fans, but if you think you're gonna come back from this 0-2 lead, this is not, the Warriors are not the Phoenix Suns. They are not gonna let their foot off the pedal. Like I'm sorry to say this, but your series might be over. In my personal opinion,
I think the Mavs can get another 2 to 3, maybe push it to Game 7 at best. But like I said, my predictions, I truly think the Golden State Warriors are gonna win in 6. I don't think the Mavs with Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, and maybe a streaky 3-point team and Reggie Bullock, Maxi Kleber. Spencer Dinwiddie was the deciding factor of the series, but I don't think that they can overcome and win this series.
I don't think so either. Luka dropped 45
and Jalen Brunson dropped 30 and Reggie Bullock dropped 21, I think.
Yeah, they played from Luka's side. He played an almost perfect game. Also, Jalen Brunson and his supporting cast, they played a almost perfect game, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean,
it just was not enough.
Every time they get like a 20-point cushion, you have a man named Steph Curry just decided to shoot lights out threes.
And you know how last episode we were talking about how deep that roster is for the Warriors. Kevon Looney stepped up big time, 23 career high.
Yeah, man. And then you have Draymond Green, like. Great motor, great defender. He should have been out of that game early in that game, receiving his first tech in the first 2 quarters, and then he was just arguing the entire game with the officials, just up in their face. Never received the second tech. Come on, man.
I don't know. I feel like the refs are just used to it at this point. Like I think they know Draymond's personality. Like
they shouldn't have given him the first tech then. Huh? They shouldn't have given him the first tech because he wasn't even as, like, maybe he said something, but he wasn't as bad as everything else.
It's playoff basketball, bro. It's gonna get intense. It's gonna get like players are gonna get in your face, whether that's another player or a ref or even a coach, bro. Like it's gonna heat up, and I think. For the playoffs, I think the refs should really just lay off on the techs because, unless it's really intentional and it's a dirty play or he actually said something really offensive to you, like something really personal, like I think you should just lay off on the techs. On the playoffs, bro, it's too important to let the deciding factor come from the refs,
Of course, especially in the last moments of the game when the game's like all close. I don't think the refs should have a significant say in how the game ends. There's been some playoff games in recent years that have just been decided on basically the refs.
That's football and basketball. That's on every sport, Football, basketball, you name it, I think the other in the football side, what can you think of anything? I mean, I know the Cowboys. Let's
briefly just mention the fact that the Saints versus who is it? The Vikings.
You can name like 5. You can name Saints against the Vikings. You can name Saints against the Rams. You can name Saints against, I don't know, bro.
Saints against everything, bro.
Saints against what was it with the pass interference where they didn't count the pass interference. No, not that one. It was with Kyle Rudolph. They threw it to Kyle Rudolph. Oh, it was the Vikings. Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what am I saying?
Yeah, I thought it was that was one of the
That was the worst no call in NFL history. You know, and I feel so bad for the Saints because that stretch of like 3
I think they would
years,
have won the Super Bowl.
that stretch of 3 years, they were one of the best teams in the league,
At
and
least
they got
one Super Bowl.
absolutely cheated. They got absolutely cheated, and I feel so bad for Drew Brees because he never got that chance to win his second ring.
I mean, he got one. So
He
it's
got
all
one,
good,
but you know, I think he was good enough to win 2 or 3, especially those years because that team was really good with Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. That defense was outstanding. You know, Marshawn Lattimore was really coming into his own.
he's still great. But
Yeah, I know he's still great, but like those years, though, like I'm not saying he lost a step. Right now, but those years he was really dominant. You know,
Yeah.
you could say he was
the
a top
top
3 corner in the league at that time. You know,
getting back to the NBA playoffs, we're gonna talk about the Heat and Celtics real quick. That series is good. Like it's good, and I truly think the Celtics would have won Game 1 if Marcus Smart was playing.
it's really
And I mean, tonight Robert Williams is out, but I think the Celtics are still able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Robert Williams is just a really important factor. He's defending everybody, man. He's making sure that inside you're not gonna get no easy bucket like Jimmy Buckets. I mean, he's doing his thing, and I just think the Celtics are really strong for the Heat, especially right now with Max Strus not really producing that greatly. Gabe Vincent. Jimmy Buckets is doing a thing, obviously. Tyler Hero, spark off the bench.
I think,
But Duncan Robinson needs more minutes. He is not getting no minutes. He only got minutes in garbage time? Like that.
yeah,
That's insane. 90 mil for a dude for garbage time. Like that's not.
this game is more important for the Heat than it is the Celtics today.
The
If-
Celtics were the first. The playoff series is basically one of your goals is to steal a game, and the Celtics did just that.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if the Heat do not manage to win this game. It's gonna be so hard for them to crawl out of that 1-2 deficit, especially with another game
Back in Boston.
Back in Boston, having to if they end up losing both games in Boston, having to go back 3-1. You can't, man.
I mean, I think Jimmy Buckets tonight is gonna turn on to another gear. I mean, he's been on a
he always
different
does
gear,
that, yeah.
but he's gonna turn on to an entirely higher gear tonight. Especially with Robert Williams being out, he's gonna be attacking. It's really up to Grant Williams to put himself inside. I mean, he's been doing his thing with defending.
He needs to visualize like he's playing the Bucks.
But then again, I think Al Horford is coming back. So although they don't have Robert Williams, they do have a 35-year-old Al Horford, which is not as good, but still a difference maker. I think.
Yeah.
Who do you have tonight?
I have the Celtics winning, but like I said, this game is way too important for the Heat. So I think.
What you think score prediction?
Okay, I think this is gonna be a very hard defensive battle. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't even hit 100. I have it like 85 to 92 Celtics.
That's a low score.
Yeah, I think these two teams are so physical and they're so
defensive.
good defensively.
Yeah.
They I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, but you know
the guy who needs to start producing is Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo, bro.
He has not been producing inside. He's not been producing at all. He's just running around doing cardio, man. Like he needs to step up. And with Jimmy Buckets doing all the work, I mean, Tyler Hero has been putting in his thing. But last game, I think he had one of the worst plus minuses ever. Like he had, I think it was a negative 33. Like, come on, man.
You can't
Tyler
win like
Hero
that.
was just doing awful. I mean, he
you
had a
can't
good
win
block.
like that.
He had a good rundown block, which was called a foul. I don't. It wasn't a foul, but it was a good block. But yeah, Tyler Hero needs to step up. He did his thing in game 1, and I think he needs to do it again in game 3. But tonight I think it's gonna be like 102 to like maybe 95.
Oh damn.
102 to 95.
Looks like around the same score
Yeah.
predictions.
102 to 95. I think the Celtics take it.
Really? And so you're still sticking by with your predictions of Warriors Celtics finals? Or-
I had a Warriors Heat finals. I think the
Oh.
Heat. I thought the Heat step was too strong, but I mean, I'm predicting this game, and I think the Celtics are gonna pull it out.
You still have the same prediction for the series, or you still think the Heat will pull it out?
I mean, after seeing the Heat play, it's basically Jimmy buckets against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Dallas Mavericks.
That's what it feels like with the Mavericks too.
It's just Luka.
Yeah.
And maybe Jalen Brunson. Sometimes Spencer Dinwiddie, against the Golden State Warriors. Golden State with Curry, Clay,
their whole roster, bro. Their
Yeah.
whole roster. I don't know.
Like,
their whole roster
it's
is too
crazy.
strong, bro.
But yeah, I mean, I think I still have the same predictions. But for tonight, I'm taking Boston 102-95.
Yeah.
And
so
who do you have winning?
I still got my predictions. The Warriors and the Celtics.
But for tonight, you have the Celtics.
Oh, I have the Celtics. I have the Celtics. What did I say? Like 85-92.
Yeah,
Celtics.
I think something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll just rewatch the video.
We'll just rewatch it. I don't care.
But that's who we have for tonight's game. So after ending off the NBA segment, we want to get into the NFL, which last week we weren't able to finish the schedules.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe we're on the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, so the Washington Commanders. Before we get into them, how do you feel about the name change?
I think it was I don't really care that much. I think it's fine. I think it just needs to grow on you. Like I think it's just it's whatever,
bro.
But the jerseys, the jerseys are okay. Like,
dude. So the day that the Washington Commanders was announced to the world, oh my god,
he was getting slandered.
They were getting slandered, and oh my god, it's because honestly, I would have way rather if I was a Washington fan, I would have rather the Red Wolves because that's a lot.
That's actually more menacing. Like,
exactly,
feels like a threat.
Yeah, but the Commanders, I mean. Commands and like that nickname that they got, the commies,
bro, that's kind of weird. Like,
yeah, like they have their nickname is the commies, I guess.
They so, low key just back to being like, cause they was judged for being a racist, right?
Yeah,
like just like a whole political thing.
But
I feel like commies is low key political too.
But you know what's crazy? The Redskins name was actually approved by
like the
Indian
tribes or whatever.
by the tribes, like by Native Americans, and their logo was an actual tribal chief, and he approved it. Like he gave them the okay and he let them use it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that they switched the name, but I think that maybe Twitter overreacted with the name.
Twitter has their Twitter has their
but
takes
I don't
everything.
know. We're moving on to another stage of generation. Like you just can't do that these days, especially. And also in baseball with the Indians, they switched their names to
That's
what
true.
the Guardians or something like that.
I actually have not kept up with baseball, but I'm a Houston fan, and I know I'm probably gonna get slandered for that. Like,
I'm
with the whole cheating debacle.
Yeah.
But I'm a Texas fan, like I said. So Rangers, Houston, I know they're probably like rivals. Yeah. But I'm more of a Houston fan.
Baseball. I really don't keep up with baseball, but I'm more of a Cubs fan. I have really no reason why other than like I visited their stadium when I went to Chicago when I was like a
really
fifth grader.
Chicago really nice.
Yeah, Chicago was really dope. I want to go back,
but getting into the Washington Commanders schedule. Week 1 we have them against Jacksonville. Week 2 at Detroit. Week 3 Philadelphia. Week 4 at Dallas. Week 5 Tennessee. Week 6 at Chicago. Week 7 Green Bay. Week 8 at Indianapolis. Week 9 Minnesota. Week 10 at Philadelphia. Week 11 at Houston. Week 12 versus Atlanta. Week 13 at New York Giants. Week 14 bye. Week 15 against the New York Giants. Week 16 at San Francisco. Week 17 against the Cleveland Browns. And Week 18 to close it off against the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, before we get into the schedules, do you think they got better or worse from last year?
I think with Jahan Dotson being added in the first round, The wide receiver core, I mean, they still have Terry McLaurin. They still Logan Thomas. I don't know how long he's gonna be out because I believe he tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he might be back by the beginning of a training camp.
Yeah.
And I think their offensive weapons,
Mm-hmm.
they got better. Obviously, adding in a first round type wide receiver in Jahan
First
Dotson, a
yeah.
deep threat, and then you have Terry McLaurin again.
And you haven't even mentioned Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. I didn't like Carson Wentz because he was a Philadelphia Eagle, but for him to go and he broke his back.
No, he broke his 2 ACLs, I think.
He tore him, yeah, and then he also had a broken back, didn't he?
I don't
Before
know.
that.
I don't.
Then last year he twisted both his ankles on like the same play.
Yeah.
Like I feel for him, man. Like you don't want to see an athlete go through that, no matter if you're rivals or not. Like I'm kind of rooting for Carson Wentz now. I really hope he thrives in Washington, with Antonio Gibson in the backfield. I believe they re-signed J.D. McKissick, who was gonna go to, I believe, Buffalo.
Yeah, he
had
pulled a
signed.
Randy Gregory.
Yeah, he had signed, but then he went back to Washington. I think they got better. I think Carson Wentz, I'm not sure if to say he's the answer, but I think that he could lead them to a good season.
Mm-hmm.
With Chase Young coming back, with some defensive players being added. I wasn't watching the Washington Commanders draft that much, but I know that they added some good weapons, some good players. But I think that they improved. But at the same time, the rest of the NFC improved, so I think that they really are still in the same position that they were before the draft.
To me, I mean, they're obviously the favorites to be the last in our division.
The favorites to be last.
The favorites to be last in the division. I'm not sure if they did get better because they lost Brandon Scherff. Brandon Scherff is one of the best guards in the NFL, and to lose him is a big loss, especially they have Terry McLaurin and they just added Jahan Dotson, but they really like to pound it on you, like.
No,
they
love the run game.
Yeah, they really liked that 1-2 combo with J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson.
Dumping it off and then running with Antonio
It's apparent
Gibson.
because they tried so hard to get him back. I think they one-upped Buffalo before he could sign, and it just shows how much they love J.D. McKissick, which is good for Washington, but it's bad for Antonio Gibson fantasy owners. Because you would hope that, okay, J.D. McKissick's gone, Antonio Gibson's really gonna take that next step that he was projected to take. Especially with Ron Rivera saying that he was gonna be the next Christian McCaffrey.
Nah.
That got everybody super excited, including myself.
He drafted Antonio Gibson. I picked up J.D. McKissick.
Yeah,
I had a better season.
Yeah. It sucks for Antonio Gibson fantasy owners, but it's a great keep for the Washington Football Organization, or Washington Commander Organization. I don't know if they got better. I still have them being projected as the worst team in the NFC East.
Even worse than the New York Giants.
I think the Giants actually got better.
But they still have Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones or Carson Wentz?
Okay, Daniel Jones is an approved year.
Obviously,
he's an approved year.
They didn't re-sign him. So.
They didn't re-sign him, so it all just rides on him. But that roster is better, that roster from I think top to bottom is better. Yeah, they lost James Bradbury, but
the Eagles got him.
Which
is another rival. Yeah, the Eagles are doing great, but
the Eagles are doing.
Before we get into that, you want to predict the record?
Yeah.
So at Jacksonville, against Jacksonville, in Washington, who do you think wins?
I'm gonna take a risk, and I'm gonna take Jacksonville.
I'm actually taking Washington. I think that Carson Wentz, the way he starts off seasons, might be a little bit skeptical, but I think he was a huge improvement last year with the Colts. And I think that Washington wins this one.
I think Jacksonville takes it. We'll go up into it more when we talk about Jacksonville, but I think Jacksonville takes it.
All right, against the
Lions.
At Detroit.
we talked about last episode how we thought Detroit was gonna be a surprise team this year. I think they win this game. I think
Detroit.
Yeah, I think Detroit wins this game.
I think Detroit wins that game too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they start 1-1 at Philadelphia. Against Philadelphia. I think they lose that game.
I don't know. I don't want to start Washington 0-3 because I don't think they're bad enough for 0-3. But considering the circumstances, I mean,
look at
my
the rest
God.
of the schedule. Look at the rest of the schedule.
This schedule does not match fairly for
I think it's the second half that gets easy. Yeah, maybe the second half because they have the easiest schedule tied with the Cowboys for 31st.
This schedule does not match fairly for the Commanders in the middle point of the season.
But against Philadelphia, I have them losing. So
I have them losing as well.
At the Cowboys,
I have
the Commanders losing. They're gonna go against Tennessee after that.
I have them winning.
Losing again.
I don't know.
I have them starting the season 1-4.
Okay, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna give them Jacksonville. I'm gonna give them 1-4 too. I don't think they're gonna be 0-5 in the middle point of the season. They're not that bad, you know.
I mean, their schedule is pretty tough for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But at Chicago, I think that I have them winning. I have them winning, so I have them 2-4 now.
I think they win that
against
game
Green Bay. I think they lose that game.
Yeah, I think they lose that game as well.
So what's 2-5?
2-5 at the middle mark.
At Indianapolis,
I think they lose that game as well. But I don't know.
I think Carson Wentz might turn it on.
It's a homecoming for him because he left that organization with bad blood. They obviously did not want him. He did not want to be there. They didn't want him there. He didn't have a good relationship with the owner or the coach or anything. So there's gonna be bad blood there.
I still think they lose it. I think Jonathan Taylor's too hard to stop.
Exactly.
Matt Ryan being a new addition, I think that they win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Commanders starting 2-6.
2-6. I as well have them
versus Minnesota. I think that's a stunner. I think Washington actually wins that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised as long as they have Kirk Cousins at the helm in Minnesota, you can't really.
Kirk Cousins, I don't know his record against his previous team being the Washington Commanders.
Oh,
but
the Commanders, yeah, that's true.
I don't think he outplays Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz might outplay him that game.
I'm not sure. That's a coin flip. I'm gonna follow you though.
At Philadelphia,
I think that's
again,
another,
I have them losing that one, so that's 3-7, I believe. At Houston, I have them winning that one.
I have them winning that one as well.
That's 4-7 versus Atlanta. Wow. Wow. Versus Atlanta, I have them winning that one.
I have them winning that one too.
Yeah, I don't think they have a quarterback, right?
I think the
quarterback is what, like a
Marcus Mariota.
Oh yeah, that's
Marcus
true.
Mariota is their
I hope he
Spencer,
actually.
I mean, no, Riddler is their.
Oh yeah, they drafted Riddler, I believe. But yeah, I have them losing against Atlanta. I have them
Desmond
beating.
Riddler, I don't know. What?
I have them beating the New York Giants the following week.
Oh, and they're playing them 2 times in a row.
Yeah, after the bye. They have a bye in between, but yeah.
I think they split. I think they go 1 win and they lose. They win 1, they lose 1.
Really?
I think they split.
I think, surprise, I think the Commanders beat them both times.
Really?
I do.
I think they split.
At San Francisco.
That's an L.
That's an L.
I think by that time Trey Lance is gonna get it going, and I think by that time the San Francisco 49ers are gonna be very dominant, very dominant.
I hope Trey Lance pans out.
So what I've been hearing from Trey Lance actually, George Kittle, huh?
I've heard
a lot. I've heard the opposite. George Kittle went on the Pat McAfee podcast and he was talking nothing but praise on him, and he says that he sees him do a lot of things that most NFL quarterbacks cannot do, and it's insane. And I believe him.
The younger quarterback generation is outstanding. They're just getting better.
Yeah, he had that Patrick Mahomes mold where he is a very raw prospect, but with that insane arm talent. I don't think he's gonna be as good as Patrick Mahomes, obviously, but he might be just a tier below that. And I honestly believe that Trey Lance is gonna be their franchise quarterback for the next 10 years, next 10, 12 years.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Maybe not a hot take, just a bold take.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll jot that down and see in 10 years if he was right.
It's really a coin flip. It's really a coin flip with Trey Lance because, I mean, like you said, you've been hearing nothing but negativity. I've been hearing the opposite.
I've heard that he has not.
I trust George Kittle more than whoever you're listening to.
I've just heard about like inside sources that the coaching staff is very underwhelmed with his performance, but I don't know how much I want to believe that. I really hope he pans out, honestly.
I mean, you can't teach raw talent like that, though.
No, yeah,
of
course. That's
obviously, the decision making is going to be questionable without reps. With more NFL reps, obviously your decision making, your IQ, everything's going to go up from there. And with just his raw talent, arm talent, he has all the tools that he needs to be an NFL superstar.
Yeah, with all the offensive weapons, and then the defense is just one of the top ones.
And especially with Kyle Shanahan at the helm, he's gonna make it easy for his young quarterback. He's one of the brightest minds in football. So.
But yeah, I again have them losing at San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
The following week they're going against Cleveland, which I also have them losing, and then they're going against Dallas, which I have them losing. So. My final record is...
I think we had the same record, so...
1...
It was not
2,
a good season for the... It was not
3,
a good season
4,
for the
5,
Washington
6,
Commanders.
7. I had them going 7 and 10?
7 and 10, which is not that bad.
7 and 10.
Which is not as bad as I thought it was, because we were giving them L after L.
I think yours is worse because you didn't give them the Giants.
I didn't give them the Giants, and
so
I didn't give them the Jaguars.
6 and 11.
I didn't give them the Jaguars at first, but 6 and 11.
Yeah, I think
that's a realistic. I think that's a realistic.
Yeah, I have them going 7 and 10, because there's 17 games, right?
Yeah, 7 and 10.
Yeah, I have them going 7 and 10. The only fantasy wise,
players to look out for,
I think, is Terry McLaurin, which again he didn't have the best season this past season, but I think with Carson Wentz at the helm, I think he's able to step it up. With Jahan Dotson now being a vertical threat, I think Terry McLaurin doesn't have all the attention.
Honestly, I'm gonna stop you right there. I think...
Chill, Kanye, bro. Stop you right there.
Honestly, I think that I trust Terry McLaurin more now, because Carson Wentz is not scared to throw that ball.
That's why I'm saying like Terry McLaurin doesn't have as much as attention. I think the defenses are now going.
I thought you were going against him. My bad.
No. I think he's gonna be a good fantasy option. He might be a high end flex to a wide receiver, a low end wide receiver 2.
High end wide receiver 2, low end wide receiver 1. That's what you meant? That's what you meant?
No. I think he's gonna be a low end wide receiver 2, high end flex.
Oh, really?
I think so. Because then again, they love to run the ball.
It's because
they have Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, and Carson Wentz.
The way I love...
look at Jonathan Taylor. He just dumps it off.
The way I love to think about it is like this. So, Terry McLaurin with less than average quarterback play has been wide receiver 2, fringe wide receiver 1. That's with Taylor Heineke at the helm. That's with I forget who was Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace. But fringe quarterback play at the helm. Now you got his probably the best quarterback that he's played with in his career. I think he takes a big step up, especially like you said, now that he's not getting all the attention because Jahan Dotson's getting that deep threat vertical attention. I think this is gonna be Terry McLaurin's best season of his career.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have him having his... Hold on. Well, so my standpoint is the fact that Terry McLaurin, for the past few years, has been the only threat on the Washington Commanders. Especially with Logan Thomas going down this past year. They don't really have another wide receiver to catch the ball. I mean, they're like... No offense, but they're no names. Like, I think Terry McLaurin is the most popular.
Do they still have Curtis Samuel?
Yeah, but he's again been injured most of the season.
Yeah.
So, most of his career, yeah, he's had bad quarterback play, but then again, he's been the only threat. So that's why I felt like they were kind of force feeding him the ball. But again, their line got worse, and Carson Wentz had a good line last year with Quentin Nelson and one of the best lines in the Colts. and he was still dumping it off to Jonathan Taylor and I forgot the word.
Well, I mean, it's because when you got Jonathan Taylor, like
again, you still have good running backs in Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissic, and they have a bad line. They do not have one of the best lines, so I feel like he is going to dump it off a lot, and he's not going to be able to actually get the ball to Terry McLaurin every single time that he wants it. And now that the offense is a little bit more stacked, I think Terry McLaurin has a great season, but that's why I'm ranking him a little bit lower than wide receiver 1, because I think they do take away his touches.
My counter argument to that would be on the Colts. Yes, they would dump off a lot to Jonathan Taylor, but who are the weapons really on the Colts offense? You have
one of the
Michael
best.
Pittman.
Michael Pittman is a great up and coming wide receiver.
Exactly, but you can't compare. Like, if Michael Pittman is your number 1 receiver, no offense to Michael Pittman, I think he's an outstanding wide receiver, but he is not Terry McLaurin.
Of course not.
I don't think he might even be as good as Curtis Samuel before he got injured.
He's way better than Curtis Samuel.
I'm not sure about that because Curtis Samuel on the Panthers was a dog.
But it's because he had a Deebo Samuel role.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I think that Carson Wentz is stepping into a better situation weapon-wise than he was on the Colts, excluding Jonathan Taylor because that dude is a monster. But I think, like I said, I think this is gonna be a career year for Terry McLaurin, and I think this is gonna be a defining moment to Carson Wentz's career.
I think I'll change it maybe to like a mid wide receiver 2 to a high end flex. But I don't think that if you have Terry McLaurin as your wide receiver 1 that you'll go far. I think that you still need someone that's a little bit better than Terry McLaurin. I believe he's going to be in like a 3rd, 4th round, maybe even 5th round draft pick. Yeah. But I think you do need to get one of the top ones, like a Justin Jefferson, a CeeDee Lamb, maybe even a Deebo Samuel, depending on his situation. I think all those wide receivers go in, and depending on your league and how big it is, I think that in 8 to 10 teams, maybe even 12, I think he's a mid wide receiver.
He's a good
2.
option. I think he's a pretty good option.
He's a good option.
We were talking about Antonio Gibson a little bit earlier, and I can't trust Antonio Gibson anymore.
Oh yeah, because he had a bad season.
I can't trust Antonio Gibson anymore. I was really excited when the news came out that J.D. McKissic signed with the Bills, but he re-signed, and I think they actually drafted another running back in this past draft.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not like an expert or anything, but I think that they did draft a running back, and I think it's gonna be more of a running back by committee. So I would not take Antonio Gibson anywhere in the first 2 rounds.
Oh, of course not.
First 2-3 rounds, I would not. Maybe the 3rd round actually. But
Antonio Gibson to me again is the same as Terry McLaurin, a mid wide receiver 2, but a great flex option. I think if you put him if he's your flex option, I think you're gonna go far because I think he's gonna be able to put up a solid stat line throughout the season. Just depending, because they feed him the ball. They love feeding him the ball, and the only reason he had a down year last year was because he was injured most of the year. But I think he's a great option for running back 2.
Yeah, the only other real option that I'd touch on that offense would be J.D. McKissic, because he gets a lot of those. This is only if you play like in a PPR league. He gets a lot of those receptions, those dump offs that we were talking about with Carson Wentz that he does. He gets a lot of those screen plays. They run screen plays through him, trick plays through him. That's really the only other option that I'd consider touching on that offense. But other than that, I wouldn't get Jahan Dotson. I would leave him in the free agency pool until maybe he proves it. Maybe you can get him on the waiver wire down the year.
If you have one of your later picks, you don't know who to pick, and it's basically just like the rookie class, I do think he would be. I mean,
I wouldn't take him.
I mean, I don't think you should take him, but I wouldn't have an argument to you taking him. I mean, I think he's like a sleeper. I think he's one of the sleepers. I think that Carson Wentz, like you said, he just chucks it up there, and I think Jahan Dotson, being a deep threat that he is, I think he's able to make some plays I think he's like a Emmanuel Sanders type of player on the Buffalo Bills. I think he's a good later round picks if you don't have anybody else, but I wouldn't draft him per se.
Yeah, I wouldn't draft him either. I mean, you could probably get him in the waiver wire midway through the year.
Yeah.
If he even pops off. The only real wide receivers that I'd touch so early would be all the first rounders, and even then. Oh, and Christian Watson. I think Christian Watson would be an incredible pick in the later rounds.
Jahan Dotson was the first rounder.
Yeah, I still wouldn't touch him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he was like a pick 12.
I think Javonte Williams. I'm not sure if he's gonna be ready for the year because he got hurt, didn't he?
Broncos?
No, the Lions. What's his name?
Oh no, yeah, Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams, my bad.
The wide receiver.
Yeah, I think he'd be a pretty good pick, but in the later rounds, I don't know if there's gonna be a Jamar Chase type rookie year.
There is. I'll get him.
I don't think so. I don't think there's a wide receiver as talented as Jamar Chase in this class.
Oh no, not as talented, but I think that maybe they might have like a force feed of the ball.
I think that Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase had set the standard so high for wide receiver rookies because you had Justin Jefferson coming in and he broke the all-time rookie record for receiving yards. The very next year, Jamar Chase comes in and he obliterates that, and he doubles down. And I think that raised people's expectations for rookies, and I think they're gonna be very disappointed this season, even though there's a lot of talented wide receivers.
It's a great wide receiver class, but I don't think that it's because the few past years have been one standalone wide receiver that was just better than everybody else. Yeah. This year, I feel like it was just a bunch of great wide receivers, but I don't think that they had that one standalone wide receiver. Who's your biggest bust potential on the wide receivers in the first round or the second round? Burks.
Treylon Burks? Really?
Treylon Burks. And that's not because he's a bad player. I think that's because he's quarterback play.
I gotta disagree. Honestly, my biggest bust or potential bust that I got is the very first wide receiver taken, Drake London. I think Drake London is gonna let a lot of people down, and I hope that I'm wrong. But his game in college was, I'm faster and I'm bigger than you, and I'm just gonna jump over you and I'm gonna catch it. He's he just likes to moss people, and in the NFL, everybody's bigger and stronger and faster, Yeah. That I'm not sure if his game or his trump card is really gonna translate to the next level. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I hope it does because I'm rooting for him. I like Drake London. If I had to choose the biggest bust potential, it'd be him.
Okay, that's interesting. I honestly, when Jahan Dotson got drafted so high, I kind of looked at him as a bust, but what I've been hearing about Treylon Burks, I mean, he's kind of has sloppy hands right now, and he was drafted by the Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. I think him having to fill in AJ Brown's shoes, that's a big hole to fill. I don't think Tennessee is as good as his team, like I said, but I think Ryan Tannehill is gonna truly I think they're going to end up putting in Malik Willis, mm-hmm. and I think that Treylon Burks will be having a great second part of the year fantasy relevancy. But other than that, I think Treylon Burks...
Well, it's because, like I said, I feel like a lot of people, like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, even Odell Beckham back in the days, they really, change people's perception of what a bust is in rookie wide receivers. If you're not a pro bowler, if you don't break records, and and you're a first round wide receiver, then they're gonna consider you a bust. You didn't live up to expectations.
I think the only bust that I've actually seen in the past couple of years that I think they both went to Philadelphia.
Oh, Jalen Reagor and
JJ
Arcega-Whiteside, Nelson Aguilar. Bro, you can go on and on with the...
Nelson Aguilar, who was drafted by the... Nelson Aguilar, he's decent. I had him for a fantasy year, and he helped.
Nelson Aguilar, Jalen Reagor, Arcega-Whiteside.
But Jalen Reagor and Arcega-Whiteside, I think.
Hey, but I bust. Mean, they're bust. Really, but luckily, Devontae Smith doesn't look like a bust.
Heisman winner. I think he's a great pick. And then they have AJ Brown. I think that what Philly's doing over there is just
They made up for it
Insane.
basically.
Yeah.
The biggest bust, wide receiver bust that I've ever seen is Mike White.
Who the hell is Mike White?
Exactly. Mike White. I think he was drafted in 2013 to the Chicago Bears. Mike White was supposed to be the like one of the best wide receiver prospects we've seen in years. And you've never heard of him. Exactly. But
I've never heard of no Mike White.
he struggled a lot with injuries, and he was never able to really recover from that.
Well, I wouldn't say it's because I can't really like bust. I feel like I have to give them a chance. Like you have people that are always getting injured. As in, just a quick example, Greg Oden. I thought he was a great player with LaMarcus Aldridge and just the whole, like, they had a trio over there in Portland, but he struggled with injuries, and I can't really say a person that struggles with injuries, I can't pronounce him as a bust. I just feel like that's just an unfortunate event.
Yeah, but I mean, when you draft him, I think he was like a top 10 pick. I'm not too sure.
Wow.
He was a top 10 pick, and he never played. I think he has like 800 career receiving yards.
Damn.
Yeah, career receiving yards. That's the biggest wide receiver bust that I've seen in my lifetime.
I mean, I wouldn't say, going back to that question, I wouldn't say Treylon Burks is the biggest bust, because I do think
biggest bust potential.
It's because maybe, but I'm saying maybe for the season, I think they're not gonna get what they should out of Treylon Burks for the first season, and that's only because of quarterback play. But I don't think he's gonna be a bust. I think he's gonna be a good wide receiver. He's gonna be the AJ Brown type of wide receiver eventually.
And that's what they drafted him to
Metcalf,
be. He has a lot of that AJ Brown mold.
A lot of physicality.
That was his comparison coming into the league anyway.
Yeah, like
AJ
DK
Brown,
Metcalf. I think the biggest bust potential is like for career. Man, I think Jameson Williams is gonna be great. I honestly think it's gonna be Jahan Dotson. I think that he has the least versatility of all the wide receivers.
I feel like Jahan Dotson is gonna be one of those dudes that, like, he's gonna struggle for the first couple of years, but like once he's a veteran, and he'll be a decent wide receiver too.
Like the guy on the Chargers who had a great season this past year, alongside Keenan Allen. I forgot his name.
It's not Mike Williams.
Mike Williams struggled the beginning of his career. They thought he was great. He has a big physical body, a little bit different from Jahan Dotson, but
he's more shifty.
He's becoming a threat. And that's because of quarterback play. But I think Jahan Dotson, maybe he'll become more versatile in his game as his career goes on. But right now, I think he's the biggest bust potential.
Yeah, like I said, I'm rooting for all of these guys. I don't wish them to be bust, but I know it's bound to happen. Some of these guys will unfortunately be busts.
Yeah, hopefully all of them have great careers. Even though they're rivals, I'm kind of rooting for them because they're people. So
exactly,
I'm not gonna pray on someone's downfall. But
that's what a lot of people forget. Like, a lot of people forget that at the end of the day, these guys are just people.
Yeah, like know? I feel like a lot of people don't see them as that. They just see them as some. Yeah, like they see, like, they don't see them as human athletes. Like, they just see them as people that play the robots, game, entertain them. Like. They don't see them as actual humans.
They view them as like robots, and they think they could really like tell them whatever they want. And,
I think we need to have more like
more like human.
I have more human decency towards athletes, because at the end of the day,
it's just a game. Yeah. Like, I know we put a lot of passion and a lot of like effort and a lot of time into the game, but at the end of the day, it's just a game. None of this really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's just for like human entertainment, and I feel like even though they're rivals, even though some people are drafted to someone that your team doesn't certainly pertain with, doesn't like, I think that you should not root for the downfall of the player. Maybe don't root for the team, but don't root for like downfall and like an actual like injury. Don't
exactly
do that for players.
That disgusts me so much when people like celebrate injury. You know, they celebrate, like, if so let's say somebody breaks their leg.
Like, with KD and the Raptors.
Yeah.
Like when he tore his Achilles and the Raptors fans were cheering, the Raptors players told him not to do that, and it was just a disgusting scene.
Or like when Dak broke his ankle.
Honestly, I thought it was just like even though so many people talk shit about Dak, I think a lot of the NFL and the just fans are like, that kind of like sucks.
They're being respectful, but like you would still have those edits of people editing like his ankle and like laughing, and I know that's the internet, and there's always gonna be those people, but I think that's like very disgusting.
This is disrespectful because I mean, like, they're humans. I think that I don't think that we should be rude to them just because they're athletes. I think that we need to see them as humans too. But
exactly, yeah. I don't know, like when Adam Schefter and Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
When Dwayne Haskins passed away,
and he had to. I don't know why he put out the fact that he had a bad career, but
yeah, when he said like, oh, he was really struggling and all that stuff. Like, who cares?
I thought that was like, unnecessary, but
who cares that he didn't pan out in the NFL? He was a person, and in his final moments, you did not have to say that.
No, yeah, but I don't know if you want to talk about the other two NFC East teams and their schedules, or do you want to end it?
Nah, I guess we'll end it there.
All right. Well, that's all we're gonna talk about today. I mean,
that's a
lot shorter. It's a lot shorter than last week.
That's such a sad way to end the podcast. That is such a sad way. I was just thinking about it right now. like they're gonna go home crying. They're never gonna want to tune back
what
in.
What the hell was that?
We just went on a philosophical.
Wow. A philosophical.
We just went on a philosophical rant. And yeah.
Nah, but I mean,
okay, we can't.
It's
end
just
it like that.
we just need to bring justice to like athletes, man. I feel like people don't really see them like that.
Exactly. Yeah, we just need to shed some light on that.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about the music, the whole Harry Styles, the underrated artists we think of, but
let's try to end it on more of a lighthearted note.
I mean, we still haven't talked about Carson Wentz as a fantasy player, man.
No, it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be horrible.
Wow.
No,
worse ending. Just contradicted everything you said. No, but I think Carson Wentz might be. It depends on your league. If you have a 2-quarterback league, I think he's a decent.
No, I wouldn't pick him.
I'd pick him in a 2-quarterback league.
I wouldn't have him.
In a 2-quarterback league.
No, I wouldn't. I'd rather have the sophomore quarterbacks this year.
What if they don't play? You're just gonna have someone.
Sophomores, Trevor Lawrence,
okay.
Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. I think he's Carson Wentz is a bottom 7 quarterback in the league, and Carson Wentz to me is a bottom 7 quarterback.
Predict his season. Do you think he's gonna have a bottom 7 quarterback season?
3,800 yards.
I didn't mean that much. I don't.
3,800 yards with 25 touchdowns and 13 picks.
He actually cleaned up his picks last season.
Yeah.
He actually cleaned up his picks last season. I feel like that was the underlining thing, that the problem that he would have. But I honestly think Carson Wentz is a top 15 quarterback in the league. Top 15 quarterback in the league.
No way.
You're telling me that you could name 20.
Yeah, I'll name them right now.
25 quarterbacks.
I'll name them right now. If you want me to.
Name 25 quarterbacks that are better than Carson Wentz.
I'll name them right now. Okay.
Not based on potential, based on actual
I'll name them right now. Okay, let me start. First of all, you got the obvious ones. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford. Who am I forgetting?
That's 6.
Justin Herbert. Matt Ryan. Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is better than him right now.
Trevor Lawrence has not proved anything in the NFL.
Derek Carr.
That's 10.
Derek Carr.
You need 15 more.
Okay. Okay, I'm just forgetting. I'm forgetting right now. Kirk Cousins.
Wow, that's a bold one. I think they're like right there, hand in hand.
I'm just gonna edit it right now.
Wait, hold on.
Where am I?
Bold prediction. Bold prediction. Here's a prediction. I want you to predict right now: is Kirk Cousins or Carson Wentz gonna have a better season?
Kirk.
I'm taking Carson.
Okay. Okay.
Carson.
Y'all heard it here first. All right. So where am I at? 12?
I think you're at 12.
Okay. I'm not gonna go Daniel Jones. I'm not gonna go.
Wow.
I'm not gonna go. I take Jalen Hurts over
Jalen
Carson
Hurts
Wentz.
is a good.
I take Jalen Hurts over Carson Wentz.
That's 13.
That's 13.
You need 14 more.
What am I forgetting? Okay. Let me go through. Okay, Tom Brady.
Wow, I forgot Tom
Aaron
Brady.
Rodgers. How could I forgot Aaron Rodgers?
That's 15.
Yeah. I can't believe I went that long without saying Aaron Rodgers.
You need 12 more.
I'm forgetting a lot of people. I know I am, and they're screaming at me right now. Let me just go through all the divisions. Mac Jones. I take Mac Jones over Carson Wentz.
I feel like he's more of a system quarterback, but yeah, he's a good quarterback. I'll give you that one. 16.
I'm just trying to go through all the Deshaun Watson. How could I forget Deshaun Watson?
Okay. He's suspended for a while, but he's a good, better quarterback.
Baker Mayfield. now that we're talking about with the Browns, Baker Mayfield is better than. Baker Mayfield is better than. People forget that Baker Mayfield was playing through injury the whole season.
Doesn't matter, man. Baker Mayfield's not a good quarterback. You need maybe 10 more.
No.
And some of them are already a bit skeptical.
No, I'm just forgetting. Like, what am I missing? Off the top of my head, who is better? Let me go. More. Russell Wilson.
9 more. I think I kind of lost count.
That's 19.
I think he needs like 9 more.
That's 19.
So
Russell Wilson. I haven't even got through the NFC West yet. Okay, so it's the Seahawks. Kyler Murray.
7 more. I think he named 20 already.
That's 20.
He said he was a bottom 7 quarterback, so he needs 7 more. Or hold on, 32. No, 5 more. He needs 5 more.
Kyler Murray. So not Tua, not Zach Wilson, not
Zach Wilson.
I'm just trying to think. Like I'm just trying to remember what teams I'm missing. Let me go through all the AFC West. Okay, so I already said Russ, Justin Herbert.
So is he better than Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't seen Trey Lance yet, but
so
I think he's better than
Jared Goff?
No.
He's not better than Jared Goff?
I take Jared Goff over.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a hot take. That's a bold one, bro.
Okay. He's not better. I mean, he's better than Justin Fields. I take him over Justin Fields.
Wow. Okay.
I take him over Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, long term, I take Justin Fields.
Obviously, but right now. So you still need what? 5 more?
5? No. 5 more. I think. What am I missing? I wouldn't take Davis Mills over him. Obviously.
So you already said you wouldn't take Zach Wilson. You think these people are under him? Zach Wilson, Jared Goff. Oh no, you said Jared Goff was better, right?
Yeah, I take Jared Goff.
Okay, so you said Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa. That's 3. You said Davis Mills. That's 4.
Dude, who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing
And then
somebody
you said Jimmy.
super
You said
obvious.
Jimmy Garoppolo. That's
Did
5.
I say Lamar? I said Lamar.
You haven't said Lamar Jackson.
Yes, I did. Have I said Lamar?
No, I don't think so.
I need to go over it again to be.
We'll edit it.
Yeah.
But
All right. I'll go again. Let me go again. All right. So
I guess we'll edit it just so we could have the names down.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Okay, write them down as I go.
Boy, I can't write names down that fast.
All right.
Look. I'll put out the NFL quarterbacks. NFL quarterbacks.
Dak Prescott.
I have all the quarterbacks here.
Let me see.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
better, obviously. Aaron
Yes.
Rodgers.
Yes.
Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Matt Ryan.
Yes.
Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ooh. Yes.
Wow. No, he's tired. Cam Newton, kind of.
No.
We could go Sam Darnold because he's the one starting. Okay. Andy Dalton.
No.
He's starting for the New Orleans Saints. No.
No, it's Jameis Winston. That's what I was forgetting.
Jameis Winston.
I'd take Jameis over Carson.
I would too.
Yeah. Yes.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is not in the league. Davis Mills.
No.
Josh Allen.
Yes. Obviously.
What the hell? These are like, bro, it's like giving me like Joe Montana. I'm like, what the hell?
Just put current NFL quarterbacks.
Hold on. So, Patrick Mahomes, yes. Josh Allen, yes. Aaron Rodgers, yes. Tom Brady,
Yes.
Justin Herbert,
Yes.
Joe Burrow,
Yes.
Dak Prescott,
Yes.
Lamar Jackson,
Yes.
Matthew Stafford,
Yes.
Deshaun Watson,
Yes.
Russell Wilson,
Yes.
Kyler Murray,
Yes.
Derek Carr,
Yes.
Matt Ryan,
Yes.
Kirk Cousins,
Yes.
Ryan Tannehill,
Yes.
Jalen Hurts,
Yes.
Mac Jones,
Yes.
Jameson Winston,
Yes.
Jimmy Garoppolo,
Ooh. No.
Baker Mayfield,
No.
Tua Tagovailoa,
No.
Trevor Lawrence,
Yes.
Justin Fields.
That's hard. I don't know. Right now, no.
Davis Mills,
No.
Zach Wilson,
No.
Daniel Jones.
No.
That's already 7 quarterbacks that you said are worse than.
Huh?
That's already 7 quarterbacks.
That's already 7?
Yeah, so you can't tell me he's in the bottom 7. And then Carson Wentz, and then Jared Goff,
Yes.
Sam Darnold.
Oh, no. Never mind.
That's
then.
8. Mitchell Trubisky,
Oh, I forgot Mitchell Trubisky. No.
9. Drew Lock.
No. Oh, my God.
It's 10. So you have him bottom 11 quarterbacks in the league, not bottom 7. I told
Bottom
you.
11 quarterback. That's
still bad.
Bottom, that's still bottom half.
That's still bad, but I think there's arguments to put him over a few of the people that you said yes. So I truly think that he's a top 15.
He's
right
he's a
there.
middle of the pack quarterback. Like
Yeah.
he'll give you. He's an above.
He'll give you what you
He'll
need.
give you average
but
play.
he won't give you great numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Hey, that was pretty good.
we'll finish it off, and I guess at the end of the end of videos we'll have a bold take, and today's was who was it? I think Carson Wentz will have a better season than who'd you say?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. I think Carson Wentz will have a better season than Kirk Cousins. We're gonna jot that down, and we'll look at the end of the NFL season to see who was
We had
right.
some pretty good hot takes, bro.
Yeah, we did.
We had some pretty good hot takes today.
Yeah, with the whole, I think Jahan Dotson. Well, I can't really base the career off one
Not
season.
yet. Yeah.
We'll get back to you in 10 years.
We'll give it 5 years. Then we'll see.
We'll give it 5 years. We'll let you know. But for this season alone, we have Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins. I have Carson Wentz. He has Kirk Cousins.
Shit, let us know
who you think will have the better season.
The loser will get punished.
True. We'll throughout the podcast and until the start of the NFL season, we'll have a bunch of hot takes. We'll have bold takes, what we think, predictions to see who gets the most right, who gets the most wrong, and we'll see what we could do with after the NFL season comes. But that is the one for today, and I think that's how we're gonna end off the video. But yeah, it was a good day. I think I think we got through everything we wanted in what, like an hour less than last video.
Dude, how did last video we went up to 2 hours? I don't even know how.
It's because we went a lot of time we went off track, and I feel
true.
like we're trying to get more organized. We're trying to like get the conversations down, try to get to the topic and the point of the topic. But yeah, well, if we're trying to do our best, we're trying to learn from what we did in our previous videos and just get better for y'all. And if y'all see our effort, if y'all are willing to give us a subscribe,
make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Go follow us on TikTok, go follow us on Instagram, get more content.
Hit that like button. That means more than you guys actually think. It boosts our algorithm.
Plus it boosts our, like, it just makes us feel better. It makes us feel better, and we feel a lot better just putting out content for y'all. Just putting out content for ourselves, basically. And I think just liking, subscribing, and following us on TikTok, subscribing on YouTube, is a big help. It's a big help.
All that good stuff.
For us to make more content. We're barely up and coming. We're still learning, like we said on last week's episode. And if you follow us on TikTok, we're posting some of the previews for the episode that drops on Friday, Saturday. We've had some trouble uploading these past couple weeks, but we're basically posting little previews on TikTok. We're gonna try to start posting on Instagram. So if you want to give us